What's up, good people? What's happening? How is everybody? How is everybody? Hope y'all doing all right. Gerard Stevens with you. It's been a day already.
You do look a little flustered.
Taxed. Yeah.
Perturbed.
Yeah, that too. And man, these political races are getting nasty.
How are they getting nasty?
Seems one camp is going after the other, and the other camp is going after this one. And I'm like, oh boy. And it's really going to get nasty as we get closer. Because what? Early voting is starting this weekend. I'm looking at a couple of things, what they're even doing with one of the representatives going after her daughter, and one of the folks in the sheriff race is doing some real high criticisms and making television commercials on it. And I can call names, but when I call names, they be like calling me later and say, he was talking about me on the radio. So I'd rather not even say about it. I don't even want to play them games no more because I don't know if they know it or not. I'm a grown-ass man, dog. I just happen to be a grown-ass man. I ain't nobody's little child.
That's what you calling it nowadays?
That's grown-ass, man. And then, in these cases that we see, even with the mayor's race, I hope, and this is what I must just say to all the folks that got to go and pull the level, or if you're gonna do some early voting this weekend coming up, I swear I hope that you are not looking for a perfect candidate. Does that make sense? I hope that you are not looking for a perfect candidate. Now, on the other hand, if you're running for office, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because don't think that those folks ain't going to do no opposition research on you. Listen, I told somebody the other day, they asked me, they said, man, why you don't run for office? I don't want to do that to my family. I don't want to do that to my child. Somebody going to do some opposition research and put out every little bitty thing that you have done in your last, how old you are years, and let all them skeletons come out of the closet on me. Them things going to be coming out going, boogity, 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 boogity. Mm-hmm. Man, ain't no need. Ain't no need. So, and I think I'm more proficient, if that's a good word to use, behind this microphone than I am trying to make decisions for policy. I think that we can bring out different things on the microphone that I probably could not say or do as an elected official. And I would want to do the right thing, because there are some things about New Orleans that bother me. And even if the person happens to be, or persons that are on the city council happen to be more so African American looking at me, yes, I would be proud to see somebody that looks like me be able to hold a public office and be in high esteem as the mayor, or to be in high esteem as a city council person. But we passed the days of those folks looking like me that don't do nothing for the folks that put you there. Does that make sense? Can I get an amen from the choir?
Amen.
Thank you. Tithes and offerings is about to be collected. But anyway, if I get to the point where I'm proud to say I got somebody that looks like me sitting in a seat that I'm thinking you're going to be able to do something for myself, along with other folks that have never had the opportunity to even be a part of the political process of New Orleans, my expectations are going to be high. My expectations are going to be, let's hear what you're going to bring to the table. My expectations are going to be, let's see what we're getting ready to do in the first 90 days, not the first year. I'm talking about 90 days. And then my expectations will be, I want to see what you're doing in the first 90 days too. And I expect you to tell me. That's my expectations. Now, if your expectations are less or even more, feel free to tell me. I'm good with that. But don't have me up here wondering and guessing what's going on. Don't have me sitting around trying to figure out what the dealie is, yo. Because we don't even know. And I got to tell you, as somebody that pays attention to a lot of those debates, especially the mayoral debate, who is the breakout person? Who is that person that's going to break out?
Who is it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay.
And my breakout is, I need you to come down here. I need you to be on the surface with me. Everybody in this city ain't up here and eating caviar and saying, would you please pass the Grey Poupon?
Being all hoity-toity.
Yeah, toity is a good use of words. Toity. We got more people that's eating bologna sandwiches than we do caviar. And these people that's eating the bologna sandwiches with some go ahead.
Mustard and cheese. Don't knock a fried bologna sandwich. Don't knock it.
Well, maybe not even the bologna. They might have government cheese and just got a grilled cheese sandwich.
Government cheese is good too. Stop you up, but it's good.
I don't even know what to say on that one. I don't even know. But guess what? It's probably more people that's eating government cheese or regular cheese than they are caviar. And those folks are the ones that's proud of you. Those are the folks that's going to the polls and saying, you're going to do something for us. And then I think we get it mixed up. Now watch the phones jump off the hook with this one. You ready?
I'm waiting.
Those that are running for office, I need you to keep this concept in mind when you think that you are and you have arrived. The folks don't work for you. You work for the folks.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get an amen from the 504-582-9422 lines? Mm-hmm. As we take this break, I think that a lot of folks may have forgotten just what that concept and policy is. You work for the people. People don't work for you. And then we're supposed to get together in the name of Jesus. And we're supposed to be working together to make life better for all of us. So I just want y'all to know that I have come here today to put together this sermon. This sermon is coming from the heart, not the fart, from the heart. It is coming to let y'all know that the games that are being played right now ain't doing nothing, not a duty squad, ain't impressing nobody, ain't making nobody feel better about you, ain't nobody sitting around and saying, that's my candidate, because you calling the other candidate out of their name. Everybody got skeletons. And they all do what? They go, boogity, 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 boogity. And I'm just saying, let some of these skeletons decide what you're going to do, and then I want you to look at yourself. As you're talking about that person, are you any better? Is this a judgmental type of election? And you letting all of these influencers make decisions for you, and I forgot to tell you, don't nobody like them neither. Think about that for a minute. 504-582-9422. We'll come back to this in just a minute here. We'll take a break. We'll come back, have some more conversation with you in just a few minutes, y'all. It's raining outside, too. Drive with care. More coming up next. Real issues, real talk, real solutions. Miss an episode of The Reality Check? You can catch every episode anytime. Search WBOK Media on your favorite podcast app to tap the bold commentary, real-time reactions, and powerful perspectives from the people and leaders shaping our city. Download, share, and rate it 5 stars, because the real ones always stay informed. The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
My name is Calvin Duncan, and I served 28 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit. But instead of losing hope at Angola, I educated myself, became a jailhouse lawyer, and after decades of being denied access to my records by the clerk's office, proved my innocence. Today, that same office is treating our records like trash, and it's time for a clerk who knows how much is at stake.
Calvin Duncan for clerk.
Paid for by Calvin for clerk.
Hear that? For too long, fixing our streets and drainage has only meant inconvenience and empty promises. This is Matthew Willard. I'm running for Council at Large, Division 1, to really fix our city, so we spend less time dodging potholes and street flooding and more time cheering on the Saints. As a state legislator, I've proven I can deliver. At City Hall, I'll build on that record. Paid for by the Matthew Willard campaign.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The Reality Check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, indeed. 504-582-9422 is my number. What you say, Shed?
Hey, man, like as Pop Jones would say, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But if one is astute in paying attention to the issues in the mayor debate, especially the one that they just had this week, and as you've been talking about on this station, that deficit, all of that stuff, I got to tell you, man, I believe Senator Duplessis is starting to pull away because he's not connected to the city council in that deficit. And he's hammering it home with this with the city council at large person who is not directly answering questions.
So what do you mean she's not directly answering?
To me, when they ask her questions, she goes around the whole city to get back to WDSU.
Wait a
To
minute.
me,
Say
she's
it again.
unanswered questions. The
Wait.
questions she's asked, they don't come with concrete answers.
Well, I think that's all of them. I mean, do you have a concrete answer on? And can you repeat anybody's philosophy, policy, any of them that have been talking about the issues of New Orleans right now? Any direct issue? I mean, telling me that we're going to put together a committee is not the solving of a issue.
And
telling me that we're
and
going to put together a committee to look at the problems of New Orleans East is not the answer for me. We have had
Gerard,
study
who's been
after
saying
study
that?
after
Who's
study.
been saying that the most?
Well, you know who's saying it
The
the most.
number 3 person, well, number 2 or number 3 person in city government right now has been saying that. I believe I said yesterday, how you going to get all these different offices when we're under a deficit, when we're in a deficit, or you're facing a deficit?
Mm-hmm. So how you and you're on a freezing hire. I mean, a hire freeze. You freeze altogether, so you can't hire nobody. So I know that because I'm also in that government issue. You can't hire nobody.
All
Yeah.
I'm saying is with this deficit issue, it doesn't make the city council at large person look like she should be the next mayor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got you.
And I pray everybody votes. Early voting starts Saturday. You have a good one.
All right, talk to you in a minute. So, no matter how you feel about any of the candidates, and I'm gonna say this because I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, and I'm not gonna sit back and bite my tongue on this, and I hope y'all get it. I don't care who, what, when, how, and we can go through all the rest of them. If you had anything to do with this budget deficit, you're at fault. I don't care if it's all 7 of the council people. But I sat down and I remember when Carey was in charge of the budgeting for the city of New Orleans, Mr. Carey, who comes on at 6 o'clock. And I can tell you, he could get it down to less than 1% of being right. Y'all need to go back to them days because y'all 65 million plus in a hole. And I'm trying to figure out how you going to make that up? What you going to do to make that up? Where your money coming from? Where you going to borrow it from? And I'm also telling the sheriff who had to bond out through the state, the jail, she had to bond it out to get some more money. They still owe her $13 million in that millage, and probably some more stuff that she's got to do to get that jail fixed. Do not let them have your money. Hello? Is this thing on?
Is it?
Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I can hear you, but I don't think they can.
I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I mean, but do you know what I'm talking about? I'm hoping. Let me tell you something. If I have to talk to Susan Hudson about anything, I have to tell her sometimes you gotta stop being nice. Don't let them have none of your money because they did won't pay you when you kept screaming and hollering at JP, Mr. Red Bottoms Morrell. You don't like when I call him Red Bottoms. JP,
So?
I'm not sorry for calling you that. Mr. Red Bottoms, Mr. Red Bottoms, Mr. Red Bottoms. But anyway, you are the epitome of what's wrong. And I hope that this new auditor comes in here immediately. So that needs to be asked. We've been called, how long we've been saying, when we found out that this was going on, what's the first thing we said? Audit, hated it, audited, hated it.
2 snaps and a twist.
No, that's not me. But first thing we hollered, audit. And then I saw on somebody's Instagram, we were thinking about it and we called in for the state auditor. So let me be clear. I need to make sure that y'all understand that there's some things that we know that don't go on the air. just for this reason here. Do not have the same auditor that came in from the state that audited the jail, that was supposed to be auditing the jail, and have him to come in and audit the city of New Orleans. Do not have the same audit. I hope Oliver Thomas is listening. I hope Eugene Green is listening. I hope all of y'all listening. Please put in your bags of tricks, because tricks are for kids, and make sure that you look in there and say, oh, do not have the same auditor that came in from the state that audited the jail to audit you all. Why? Because they are connected. Let me tell you something. Oh, wait a minute, Gerard. What you trying to say? They're connected. Yes, I'm saying that they are connected to Mr. I think his name was that Wagaspat? I think it was Mr. Wagaspat. They connected. You know why?
Why?
When we left the jail, the administrative buildings, to go over to city council, to sit down, to have a conversation with them, he was there before we got there. He was supposed to be with us. He was supposed to be with jail, not with the city council people. Somebody at the city council knew him and called him and said, come on down, da-da-da. So we were trying to figure out what kind of conversation was that you all had before you had a conversation with the people at the jail, the CFO, the sheriff, or anybody else. You had a conversation with the city council folks.
Could it be guilt?
Huh?
Could it be guilt?
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Never mind.
No, guilt for what? I'm telling them the man had a conversation when they did the jail audit. So that's why I'm telling them don't have the same guy, because it's somebody at the city council that already knows the auditor. We need this to be free and clear of any type of mess. I want somebody that don't know nobody, that's coming up in there, that's going to just do the job and not be in favor of somebody because you know them. Because y'all know we know everybody. We know everybody. Everybody. So make sure that you get that person that don't know nobody that's going to come in and do the work, not the same folks that did the jail audit, because they were all in favor. They was all in favor of the city council, which we know now that they were wrong.
We need to get Mr. Carey back.
Can you turn it down?
We need to get Mr. Carey back into office.
Well, Carey did different. He's not an auditor. What he did was CPA work, and he along with his folks, what they basically did was say, hey, this is the amount of money that's coming to the city. This is how we're going to make sure that we have a balanced budget. Mr. Carey could tell you from a 1 percentile area that this is how much money we can expect. Somebody overprojected. Let's use overprojections, but let's also use those overprojections thinking that one-time monies that were coming to the city were going to end up being a part of the city budget. One-time money should have never been a part of the budget. Well, what do you mean one-time monies, Gerard? I'm glad y'all asked, because y'all is on it, doggone it.
Prime example. Taylor Swift concert.
Yep. Made it a part of the budget, and they over budgeted for it. Didn't bring as much money in as they thought it was. Not only that, how much money did it cost for us to provide homeless shelters, all this other stuff for, which was supposed to be the state? How much did it cost for all of these events that are coming? Super Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Taylor Swift, Bayou Classic, all of that, for security. Because remember, we were classified as a Tier 1 event for Sugar Bowl and for the Super Bowl. Tier 1 event, what does that mean? That means all federal law enforcement, from waterways to airways, to the folks riding around with the radiation guns, trying to figure out is there any type of radiation that's going to be around here. They were flying through the air to figure these things out.
Everybody was here.
Everybody was damn radioactive. You was glowing in the dark there too. So
I don't need radioactivity for that.
So why? All right, I'm gonna throw this out here. We're gonna get in trouble. You ready to get in trouble today?
Come on. Let's have some fun.
You really ready?
Come on.
All right.
I ain't scared.
I'm just telling you, because every time I do something like this, you the first one talking about something. Man, I ain't gonna follow you no more. I'm not walking with you outside either. So here we go. It is apparent to me that there are certain elements of this budgeting, bizarre ass way that we do budgeting that nobody wants to talk about. So I'll bring it up. And maybe somebody will ask some questions. Why aren't we asking the questions, looking at line items, and asking what part of the budget are we over budget with? If you had to think, just for one little incident of a moment, what would you all say? And don't answer this with. What would y'all say that if you had to ask, well, what part of the budget are we so over budget with? What would that budget line item be? Would it be streets? Would it be garbage? Would it be the fire department? What would it be? Come on, y'all. 504-582. Think about it for a minute. I just named out several different things. You name it out and tell me how far over budget, and ain't nobody saying duty squat. That's DODOIE squat. Duty squat. Ain't nobody saying nothing. And why? Why ain't they saying nothing? Shh. Is it because of the person? Or is it because of the position? Is it because of the position? Or is it because of the person? And everybody's like holding hands and singing rounds of Kumbaya. And y'all over budget. And ain't nobody said duty squat. Why? Why ain't they saying that? That's my question. Why? If I know you know. So come on, get it in. Y'all need to think about this, because I can tell you, if you don't think about this and they don't have a viable way to fix it, your taxes, they're going to base taxes on something, and they're going to tax you to death for next year. Oh, baby, they already getting you for several different things. They're going to tax the booty crap out you. Why? Because we 65 million in the hole and they don't know where they're going to get it from. They're going to start letting folks go. They're going to have them to start taking days off. And you're going to figure it out. All right? So what is it? Let's go to the phone lines. Yes, indeed. Is that Gerod?
Hey, what's up, G?
What's going on with you, man?
Ain't nothing, Jay. All I'm going to tell you is that this one thing right here that sticks out on my mind. The way they were acting, we got to be over budget on mayoral travel.
Nah, I think that was only like 30, 40, maybe $75,000 over. So that's not the multi-millions.
Okay,
but you would have thought that was what it was, the way that the city council was acting toward her.
That's what I'm saying. The way number two was acting, they're acting like that's what the problem was.
Yep.
The travel.
Yep. I can almost guarantee you that if somebody did a public records request and asked how much money did the city council spend on lawyers that were that was going against the mayor, that we find out that the lawyer spending was more than what her travel was.
I guarantee you that.
Yep.
I can guarantee you.
So I think folks need to keep that up in their mind too when they getting ready to pull the hammer to see who's gonna be the next elected official too. So,
man, I just think we're lost people, bro.
But that's me. That is me.
A bunch of people were being misled.
Yep. Nothing like misinformation. Misinformation now is to the point where you don't know if it's true or it's not true, but it is leading the way in the way that people think.
There's nobody more popular than the new girl in school.
Yeah.
And she's an old one.
Yes, indeed. And they old, right? Mm-hmm.
And she's old.
Yeah, there you go. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for calling.
All right,
I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, Mr. Bill.
Yes,
Mr. Bill.
Question answered. All
right.
But I would also like to throw in, say, two others. Can I throw in two others?
Okay.
Audubon Park and the Vu Carre Commission.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I don't want to get in trouble with you. And
Oh, you already in trouble. You call the name, so you already in trouble. They know who you are now. By now, they probably already scoped you out. You are in somebody's scope sites. I just want you to know.
No, I don't think so. I'll lay low. I'll keep it low. Got a mask on my face.
That's what you got?
Later.
Yes,
thanks for answering. Bye-bye.
All right, my friend. Appreciate you. All right, Mr. Bill said, called out a couple of places. But my point is this. What department in the city budget was way over budget and ain't nobody said duty squad? That's the word of the day. Budget? No. Over budget? No. Well, what's the word, Gerard, for the day? Today's word is duty squad. That's what it is. Ain't nobody said duty squad. Way over budget. And nobody ain't said nothing. Why? Should I sit here and wait for you? Or are you trying to figure out what it is? I know what it is. And y'all really need to be asking the questions, why? I'm just joking, but I'm not joking. I'm being very serious. All right, 504-582-9422 is my number. You want to take the break now? You can take it? All right. We'll take the break here and we'll come back. We'll have some more conversation. When I come back, light up the phones. 504-582-9422. More coming up next.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
2517 Bayou Road, Chef Sherman Esteem. You talking about great food, great conversations, and definitely great drinks. We sell hookahs and we run them out. So if you want to have a nice time and smoke your nice hookah, come on down to Nano's Cajun Cuisine and Pastries and have a wonderful time. We will entertain you and we will treat you with happiness and joy. And by the way, on our first and third Saturdays, we always have a block party on Bayou Road. Come and check us out from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Looking to join an organization that is committed to help promote economic development in New Orleans East? Look no further. The Greater New Orleans Business Alliance is a member-based, nonprofit organization made up of business owners and local professionals united for the purpose to promote business development in Eastern New Orleans. If you want to become a member, call us at 504-957-3568.
From Gentilly to New Orleans East, WBOK is what New Orleans is talking about. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. I can't believe y'all stumped on this one. So you want me to tell it, or y'all want to guess? Which one you want me to do with? You want to guess?
Let them guess.
Let them guess? All right, so I won't tell it. Because you know me, I don't remember like 10 minutes, but I said the last 10 minutes, so you know I'll forget. And then somebody come in and be like, well, you ain't going to tell us? And be like, oh, okay. I don't remember 10 minutes ago. But I looked at this situation as we were talking about this more and more. And it made me sick at the stomach to see that all I had to do was look it up myself. Or all I had to do, I think they need to bring back, what's his name, Montano, who was the CAO?
Montano.
Huh?
Montano.
Was he the CAO or CFO? He was the C something, FO.
Yeah, that's all I know, C something.
Because they need to bring him back and make him answer questions about what happened with this budget, dude. Because you were partly responsible. You can't be walking out and jumping off the cliff and getting to be a part of the big Golden Parachute Club, because that's what I see. I just see these folks that got the golden parachutes jumped out the window and saying, "See ya, biatch. See ya. Woohoo!
See ya,
biatch." And we sitting up there waving bye, not knowing that there's a bomb getting ready to blow up, and we don't have no parachutes. And he jumping out the window like, "See ya, woohoo!" pulling the ripcord. And we still on the plane.
Going, huh?
What had happened? Because we have no idea what's getting ready to happen. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? You all have no idea what are the consequences of this budgeting. What are they going to take this from? Where is this coming from? Where is the money coming from? It's got to be a balanced budget, and what? We got to do it in two months? Where are they going to get the money from? Who's got $65 million in their pocket? Where they going to get it from? They're going to get it from you. And everybody said, what are you talking about? They going to get that money from you. If they can't find it, lost in the budget somewhere, they are going to get it with the next budget. And not overestimate what's to come. And we're sitting back and saying to ourselves, you know how to do that boots on the ground dance? What you think about them Saints? Oh, did you see that last LSU game? Oh, you know, I got to go up to Southern this weekend. We got to big football game. And I'm sitting back and saying to myself, while the people are supposed to be doing the work for you, you out there having entertainment. Entertainment. For what? Y'all going FAFO real quick, fast. Real quick and fast. When stuff start costing you, that cost you $10 and start costing you, well, you know, we got to raise a couple of cents or a couple of dollars on your trash collection. They already did. And you ain't getting but what, one time a week? And they gave the vendor 80% more money. Where they get the money from? Did y'all also forget that you're up for $30 million to go to the school board? And your council is the one that's suing, saying, yeah, they need to do it, and then we're going to get TD. We're going to get her. But y'all can't balance the budget. Y'all trying to go and say, oh, give the school board $30 million. And TD said, guess what? We don't have the money. Well, we're going to fix you, boo-boo. We're going to make sure that you can't go traveling. Nah, boo-boo. Guess what? All y'all can't go traveling. Take back everything. Take back the phones, take back the cars, take back the lunches, take back the assistants, cut down on the number of people in the office, cut down on it. You don't think we should? Where they going to get the money from? You got the money? You got $65 million?
I ain't no money. You got money?
Mm-mm. So, what else? We have to look around and go over that budget again. I think we should cut out a lot of the commissions. I especially think the ones that are controversial in their approach should be cut out in the first place. Well, what do you mean by that? I'll tell you in a minute because y'all ain't going to agree with me on that. Don.
Hey, man, what's going on this
What's
evening?
happening with your big boss?
Yeah, did anybody come up with the real reason that we're over budget?
Not yet, but I'm just waiting to see, you know.
Man, it's got to be the police department, man. All the overtime that we've been paying over the last few months. You know, it started with the January thing and then the Super Bowl thing, and then having to get rid of all the people that were homeless. And then we had all these different festivals like Mardi Gras and every other festival you can think of, and the second line where they're using police at every event that we can think of.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, because we don't have enough policemen, that overtime is way out there. And I guarantee a lot of that budget problem has to be the police department.
So you are correct. It is because nobody's asking or nobody is even looking at that the city of New Orleans is at least $40 to $60 million over budget with the police department.
Yeah, and you know, it makes sense because we have such a shortage in the police department that you have to have a lot more overtime than normal.
So for all those that are running for office, one of the things that makes me go, this should be for anybody. Y'all need to ask yourselves and answer this question, why we're over budget with the police department. Anytime that there is a function, we also have to look at how much money we're over budget with, because the state makes us pay for Troop NOLA. Yeah. Troop NOLA is the Louisiana State Troopers,
state police
that are here in New Orleans, and they are stationed here. This ain't something new or every once in a while. They here for good, and we got to pay for it. All right. The other question that we need to be asking about, in the sense of budgeting, is how much does it cost for us to do events with police officers? How much? With all the events that we do, how much did Taylor Swift cost? For the $16 million that the state spent to put the homeless folks out there on France Road, how much of that do we how much of that we responsible for?
Right. And that's the biggest thing that we have to look at now as we get ready for the mayoral race and a lot of these races in the city, is who's going to talk about these problems and talk about different solutions that we may have to come up with. Because right now, no one's saying anything. I'm looking forward to listening tomorrow when they have the other debate and see if these questions are going to be, thrown at these candidates and see what kind of answers that these people come up with. And I think a lot of people need to pay close attention and see that a lot of these folks are acting as if they know what to do. But when you don't have experience in anything as far as being in the government and doing things for people, how are you going to make sure that these things are going to occur as you say they are when you get in office? So I think a lot of people need to be paying attention to some of the answers that some of these folks give. And, if you're beating around the bush, what that means is you don't have any idea of what you're going to do. You're just telling people that you're going to do something.
Part of that has got to be emperors. And we don't know. I think we were somewhere close to $100 million that the city of New Orleans has to pay into the emperors. Emperors is actually the retirement organization for police officers. And we are, I think, somewhere between 60 to 100 million in debt to emperors we forgot about it. They announced it, but we forgot it. And the city is responsible.
They're responsible for it. So how are we going to come up with all of these different deficits that we are facing right now? And nobody has any answer or any idea of what they're going to do. And I think we're going to be looking at the next 4 years are going to be real, real tough.
Yep.
Especially with the mayor, not only the mayor, but the governor that we have and the guy that's in the White House. It's going to be a real tough situation for our city, especially when they're talking about sanctuary cities, being something that they're targeting. So it's going to be interesting. But, hey, Gerard, just continue doing the great work, man. We'll continue listening.
Yeah, we try to make sure that we can get down to the nitty gritty on what we are owing and who's going to pay and how much is it we're going to be able to pay. So
yes, sir. All right,
appreciate you, Don.
Okay.
All righty.
All right, man.
So I went through this chat, and one of it was about how the city is responsible for the emperor's payment. So let's talk about it. The United States cities are responsible for establishing and contributing to pensions of retirement systems for employees. And I'm talking mostly right now to those employees that are police officers. So establishment and funding, cities often set up and manage their own retirement funds. But of course, there are the ones with the state and the government. Employer contributions go from the city as the employer is required to contribute a certain amount of its payroll to the retirement system to help fund future benefits. The administration is a retirement board that's sometimes supported by full-time staff, manages the pension, and then this includes overseeing investments and administering retirement allowances, disability benefits, and also death benefits. And the fiduciary duty, the city and the board of the pension have a duty to act in the best interest of plan members and benefits when managing and investing the fund's assets. So why are we behind? We need to be asking some questions. All right, y'all, we got to take a minute here. We'll get some news and we'll come back. We'll take some more of your telephone calls. 504-582-9422. More coming up next.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. More wrongful death claims have been filed over the Legionnaires' outbreak in Harlem, New York. Reverend Al Sharpton and Black civil rights attorney Ben Crump announced new lawsuits tied to contaminated cooling towers that killed 7 and sickened over 100. The city now wants inspections every 30 days instead of 90. Starting October 24th, New York City will enforce a 15-mile-per-hour speed limit for e-bikes, e-scooters, and pedal-assist commercial bikes. Black Mayor Eric Adams says the rule is about safety, though questions remain about enforcement since many e-bikes lack speedometers. And celebrities are celebrating Jimmy Kimmel's return to late night. Kimmel was back on air Tuesday after a suspension over remarks about Charlie Kirk's alleged killer. Jamie Foxx praised his comeback, while Don Lemon said Kimmel struck the right tone in his opening monologue. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. After 5 o'clock, you're off work. Please drive with care, because it's going to be raining, I think, in the 5 o'clock hour. It had started raining when I was leaving OJC. It started when you were over there. So be careful. It's going to rain. We need it too. Jacqueline, you said something that is pretty much how we need to be starting to think. Jacqueline is online. She wrote this. Oh, yeah, y'all know in the budgeting we are now responsible for how much? $10 million? For the lights on the Crescent City connection. That's part of your budget. That's $10 million. What's that, $1 million a year for 10 years? Boy, if they don't take care of them lights, y'all know what y'all gonna see. Lights out here, lights out there. Which ain't funny. It's gonna be looking like picker lights. Pick a light to see if it works. So what else? Come on, y'all. Think about this for a minute. Why are we over budget? Let me throw this into your grand scheme of things. Let's see if this works. So the question is, when we wrote these new contracts for picking up your trash, they went up to what? 80% more? 80% more than what they were. And you're paying for everyday service in the French Quarter. You all do know that, right? The French Quarter gets trash pickup every day. They get the lemony fresh smell. They get trash pickup. They get the street cleaning, the street sweeping. And then they get the TV commercials to let you know that they're doing a good job. In our neighborhoods, if you don't live in the French Quarter, we get trash pickup once a week. No street sweeping. Well, we get some of that in the, I think on the highway. But you don't get nothing smelling like lemony unless you live a Ryan out there. And it went 80% higher. Let's see. The other thing we did was we started hiring individuals, paying them top dollar on a medium market neighbor. What? What do you mean? We are a medium market in size. We are not a major nothing like New York, Chicago, California, LA, Atlanta. We are not categorized in that type of potential when we start talking about the number of folks that live here. Those cities have multi-millions, so they major markets. We have maybe 250, 350,000. I I think 300, 350, somewhere in there. So if we have that many people in our marketplace, we are offering jobs that are paying individuals $340,000 plus to run these departments. I'm sitting back and saying to myself, I would have no problem with paying that individual that type of money if they solving the problem. If you say that you can solve the problem of all this crime in the city, yes, boom, pay them. But if I look at your record and you're not proven to be able to do that in any other market that you have worked in, why would I hire you and pay you that type of salary? For what reason? To ride horses with the federal monitor, with the federal judge? To have you run the sewage and water board, and we talk about the number of leaks that we have and the number of times we've heard them say you got to boil water advisory and see that there is no new turbines, and we're not online yet with the people from energy with this new system that y'all this new plant that y'all built and spent a whole bunch of millions on, and you're not online yet? I'm sorry. If I'm going to pay you that amount of money to run the resources, to run the infrastructure, to make sure that this is what you get, and your subjects that work underneath you are scrapping to make ends meet. I'm going to pay the CEO several $100,000 to run it, but the people that's in the mud doing the work, they making $7 an hour. Are you kidding me? Is it me? We couldn't even get people to just, suck out the waste. And never mind. I shouldn't even say that. Because I don't want these folks to think that I'm talking about them and what they do for work, because that's not true. I think that the average worker that's out there going to do their job. I do. I think they're going to get out there and do their job. That's what I'm hoping. And some of them jobs can be some of the worst, stankiest, nastiest jobs that you could possibly do. Who wants the job to let you know what you do for a living? I ran a vacuum truck, and it sucks out all the stank that's in the streets. Ew. Well, what you do? I help him. Oh, y'all the vacuum truck people. Mm-hmm. But how much money y'all making? I keep hearing the statistics. We got over 98,000 or 68,000 more to go. Y'all can clean out those catch basins. You gonna clean out the catch basins. How many we got doing it? 6 trucks. We got 6 trucks that are vacuuming out over 68,000 catch basins. 6. But I could actually have a day where I'm telling men, women, whoever that are old enough, can pass whatever test they need to pass, that we can hire you as a contractor for the city and pay you to get on a truck, you and 2 other individuals. So it's a truck of 3 to get on a truck. And let me assign you some catch basins. I could assign you 100 catch basins. Your job, you and your two buddies, one drive, and the other two, y'all sit in the truck with him, get to the catch basins, and y'all start digging, get the stuff, put it in the back of the truck, put it in some what kind of cellophane or some type of plastic trash bag, and take it to the hazardous waste dump, and take it out there and throw it away. We pay you on each catch basin that you clean out. Ain't nothing like manpower. Then as you clean them out, we take pictures and selfies every single day. Why can't you just take a picture of the catch basin you cleaned out? I'm not expecting everybody to have the focus of, well, we're gonna clean them out, clean these out, clean those out. No, just do the ones that we assign you to do. Then we won't have to hear no more. We got one person doing this whole job. Then we can come back and say, the people that live in New Orleans care about their own daggone city. And we have hired hundreds of people to help us with catching this water when it comes through. And all of us could stick our chest out. And I'm like, this is simple. Hire the people that live here and stop damn farming everything out to companies that don't care about you. They don't care about you. They want a check. All right, so I hope y'all ready for this part, too, because I got to do this part. Oh, boy. So this morning we went down to, where did we go? To the senior center down at the in the lower 9. And as we were there today, we were playing and saying hello to all the seniors. I got to say hello to Miss Andrea. Miss Andrea don't know that I do a radio show, too. But she talk about me every time I come up in there. She always talk about, because I called her when we were getting ready to come down there. What was that? Several months ago. When was that, Tina? That was about, 3-4 months ago? No, I was talking about Miss Andrea down at the senior center in the lower 9 when I called her. And that was about 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months, about 4 months ago. And she ain't never forgot that was me that called her. I should have never told her, said, Miss Andrea, that was me. I walked up to her, I said, Miss Andrea, that was me that called you, because the telephone call did not go well. Because I was like, Miss Andrea, how you doing? Could you tell us more about the event that you're inviting us down there to? Well, what you want to know, fuck? I mean, she went off. She went off. I never put people in jeopardy. I said, Miss Andrea, I never thought you would. I'm just trying to find out the specifics of what y'all got going on. Well, let me tell you, baby, this is what we got. She went off again. And stop thinking that I'm putting people in. I said, Miss Andrea, I'm not thinking that. But she repeated it again. And she repeated it today. Come here, baby. She called me in front of all the seniors. Come here, baby. I said, yes, ma'am. He thought I was putting her in jeopardy. No, I wasn't. I didn't. But I told her, I said, tell the whole story now. Tell everything. But anyway, I was coming back from the lower 9. And I had gotten across the train track bridge right there in the upper 9, near the 5th district. I think that we have lost our cotton picking minds. What are you talking about, Gerard? How in the hickety hell do you all not see? I'm talking about the city of New Orleans. How do you all not see that this is a traffic hazard right there at the intersection of Claiborne. What is that? Claiborne and shoot, what's the name of the church I go across? You know what I'm talking about? What street I always complain about? Right there at coming across the bridge, you're coming down. The traffic light is right there. It's at Claiborne. Nope. Keep going up. Everybody go that street. What's the name of the church? No, we further up. I'm talking about as you get into the city. What's the name of the church over there that moved out to the east? Franklin Avenue. I don't know how I forgot that. That's my mind. That's my Alzheimer's kicking in. Franklin Avenue and Claiborne. I want to know, for anybody that has gone that way, I don't care if you're going left or you're going right. The damn street is sinking.
How many transmissions have been claimed?
They got at least 4 sinkholes in that one little area right there. We don't see this. 18-wheelers is losing it right there. They don't know. They coming through and they like, boom, 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 and they have to grab the wheel with both hands. Somebody gonna have a real bad accident right there, if they have not already. And if we don't fix it immediately, something bad gonna happen right there. It's at least 4 sinkholes right there. If the street ain't falling in all the way in the next, I'd say within the next 30 days.
So basically, it also causes traffic backups because people have to slow down to pass over it.
Yep. If y'all have not seen, anybody else seen, it can't be just me.
I don't go that way.
I know, but this is a major thoroughfare where people are coming from through the 9th Ward, maybe even coming from Chalmette to get through. And I'm saying to myself, y'all don't know that this is happening. Come on now. Come on. This has got to be the worst intersection in the city of New Orleans. And it's just sinking in. And now it's like 4 different sinkholes. You got to go through 4 different sinkholes just to go through the intersection. That's got to be the worst intersection in New Orleans.
Not 1.
Huh?
Not 2.
The worst.
Not 3.
The worst.
Or
4
4.
of them.
4.
Not
Spell
4.
it.
I ain't say 4.
Spell it.
4. F-O. Biatch. There you go. Hey, Michonne.
Hey, Gerod.
What's going on
Hi,
with you?
everyone. How are you all doing?
Good. How you doing?
No complaints. Listen, the people from Chalmette come flying through the lower 9, right? Which makes them to continue on through the upper 9.
Mm-hmm.
And they have some of them, especially the foreigners. I hate to be so biased, but it is what it is. They come through there so fast. Somebody was in one of those like F2 5350s. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, nah, no. They come this way every day. They act like they don't know that's not there.
That
but
intersection.
The reason why I really call is they just had that all taped off, coned off for repair. And that's the repair.
Wow.
Tell me somebody not getting a kickback. Somebody not doing the deficit, doing the budget right. Somebody. What's going on?
Something going on. I don't know what it is because it looked like, and there's no emergency there. There's nothing moving. There's nothing to say, oh, Lord, we need to get this fixed. And I'm telling you that the average person that lives that way knows, so they slow down. But I've seen several folks that are coming that way that have no idea what's getting ready to happen, and they lose control as their car or their truck is going over all them bumps.
And it happens, it makes it where the person, like you and I know, or whoever knows, so we're slowing down. The person behind us flying and slamming on their brakes because they didn't realize it was a roller coaster.
Michelle?
But
there
can
you
you hear
go.
me?
Yeah, I got you now.
I say they didn't a lot of people don't realize it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But however, what is the somebody called me to say, since I have been asking my Facebook friends and family to take a ride with me when I show the streets and the debris and all that good stuff, that the city has started advertising a department that I believe they've been having. But they advertise in a department that if you report a hole, they're going to come and fix it or something like that. They said they heard it or saw it on the news.
No, that's a road.
Are you aware?
What is that? That's Channel 6 road works.
So how do you report it? How do you do that?
I think the last time they said call Brandy B over at Channel 6.
Brandy B. Okay.
That's a traffic reporter.
Okay.
So you'll be on the phone for at least about 30 minutes reporting all them holes, huh?
I have a whole list.
I know. That's why I said you're gonna be on for at least 30 minutes reporting all the.
I have a whole list of spots that have bedroom sets and mattresses and garbage bags and a whole bunch of debris. I have a whole list of that too. And every time I call 311 to report it, they don't really have an attitude with me, but they have an attitude like, I don't know why you keep calling in all this. Now, something else you need to have checked. When I'm calling in those spaces that have those items, the day I called back because I needed to fix, like I know somebody that actually put a mattress out, right? So something, I was curious to see what would they say. So I said, when I called to report X, Y, and Z lot, who's responsible for that payment? They said the owner of that lot. I said, how much sense does that make? And I know they're not the persons that make the decisions, so that's why I'm telling it to you. But I just had to put it on there so they could start talking about it in the office. Like, this crazy lady called here. But how much sense does it make to charge an owner who hasn't been taking care of a lot for 25 plus years, Katrina, right? 20 years, I'm exaggerating. How are you going to charge them for that? They haven't been here, so why would they put that on that lot?
I don't know. A whole bunch of
and
stuff
there's
don't
cameras
make
almost
sense.
everywhere.
Yeah, but a whole bunch of stuff don't make sense these days. And just remember something: common sense ain't so common no more.
Definitely.
So, but look, let me take my
All
break.
right, have a great one.
Thank you, baby. Thank you much.
All
right. Raboin, hold on. I'm coming right back. We got to take a break here. We'll take this break. We'll come back with some more in just a minute, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. The National Coalition of Black Meeting Professionals, or NCBMP, is a nonprofit focused on making life easier for black business travelers. Jason Dunn is executive director of the NCBMP, and in a conversation on Bloomberg, he talked about how the work his group is doing extends beyond just business conferences.
It's not just conventions and meetings, but also sports. In fact, one of our members have the largest kickball tournament in the country.
Whether it's a big corporate meeting or a kickball tournament, Dunn says the bottom line for NCBMP is that the host site is welcoming to diverse travelers. And in the coming year, his sights are set beyond the U.S.
We know that Asia and Africa specifically are destinations for our members who want to create that international flair.
As more black professionals enter leadership ranks, making sure business travel is safe becomes more and more important. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members save even more with limited-time doorbuster deals. Save $5 on 24-count Contractor's Choice 42-gallon trash bags, now just $14.78. Plus, get your choice DeWalt Elite Series saw blades for $9.98. Not a Pro Rewards member? Join for free today at Lowe's. Valid through 9/17. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowes.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars. Because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Don't forget, coming up at 6 today, we've got Arnie and Cary. They're going to be in the building having some conversation with you, all right? Raboin, thanks for holding. What you say?
I want to speculate what could be costing the city money. Like I say, going to court because they're being sued by either citizens in other parishes, either people that come as tourists that want to sue the city. They either losing the case or they paying to go to court to represent the city. That's all I have.
All right, cool, and thank you, brother. All right, so let's discuss that too. Let's discuss for a minute lawsuits. Y'all gonna go what when we had this discussion? Y'all know the city is self-insured, right? So wait a minute, it's not self-insured. So y'all sue the city. One thing we have found out in the 20 years that many of us have sued the city, you might even go to court and win the case. The city don't care because they way, way behind in paying up in lawsuits. So your lawsuit, you can win and it'll be just sitting there. Now, there's a difference. The difference is state court and federal court. Federal court make you pay. Like if you get a federal lawsuit and you have to pay or you win, the federal guys are gonna make you pay. You're gonna pay. And you're gonna pay in a timely fashion. And if you don't, you're going to lose something. They're going to take something. But the city don't pay duty squad. That is today's word. Duty squad. I think it was Jason Williams who stated that, we want to start from the beginning of paying some of these lawsuits that have stacked up over the years against the city. And I think he started paying some of them out. But I don't think we got enough money to pay the number of lawsuits that we have out here against the city of New Orleans. So I'm going to tell anybody, if you go to court, make sure that you go to federal court. And if you're taking the city to court, go to federal court. I don't know how you make it transfer. An attorney, we'll ask Suzette if she can come on with us. I think she's going to be out of town and at the Howard University teaching future law folks how to make things happen in their own practice. So I think that's what Suzette's doing this week. So, but we'll still ask her. All right, I had to take this part of the show. I'm kind of changing gears because I wanted to talk to you all about the reinstatement of Jimmy Kimmel. I know a lot of folks cheered him on and glad to see that ABC kind of bagged down and we had this, but there's always a but.
I was hoping you were going to bring that up.
Would you let me finish? Cut your mic off.
Because you know I'm on now.
Cut your mic off. Cut your mic off. Thank you very much. I really want to make sure that I get this word out. From a national perspective, we all heard and even played the clip where they thought it was so egregious, that's a good word to use, that Jimmy Kimmel said something about the death of Charlie Kirk. We all visited that statement thinking that Jimmy Kimmel had said something that was so detrimental that we were like, oh my God, what did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Then when I heard what he said, it made me go, that's it? Now, someone getting shot and killed is not funny in any sense, no matter who you are. Whether I disagree with you, whether your points have been taken, but I don't agree with you at all, whether I think you're a racist, whether I think that you're just a butthole. I had to look at this and say that man didn't deserve to die because, yes, he had a wife and he had a child, and we understand that. But it made me look at the funeral when they put his wife on the air, and his wife said, I forgive the man who killed my husband. I forgive him. Well, why did it make you look at that, G? I'm glad y'all asked. It made me look at that and say, this woman said publicly, I forgive the man that killed my husband, to make me look at these corporations, these folks in charge of these corporations, this man that's in charge of the FCC, and your own president. It made me look at them and say, this is what's leading the way. It also made me turn around and say, he's not going anywhere. Jimmy Kimmel's coming back. And when he did say, oh, we're in negotiations with ABC to get reinstated, I was glad to hear that. But there's always a but. It looks like to me that the power of the dollar bill made ABC say, ooh, get to the table and get to the table quickly. Why? Because we lost $4 billion with folks saying, wait a minute, I'm protesting you. I'm not going to have your Hulu, your Disney, nothing on my television. And I'm selling all my stocks that have ABC with it. And I don't want nothing to do with your affiliates at all. $4 billion went out the door within 24 hours. And it made everybody say, you better get back to the table. They were like, yeah, run, don't walk. Now, there's more to this story, and I'm hoping that all of you will pay attention to it. ABC is looking around and saying, okay, good for us. But I have a problem with these other corporations. Which ones you talking about, Gerard? I'm talking about the ones that carry Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not talking about ABC. I'm talking about Nexstar, and I'm talking about Sinclair. See, Sinclair Broadcast Corporation is the largest carrier of the Jimmy Kimmel Show in ABC. Nexstar is not the largest, and as a matter of fact, Nexstar is just coming out of bankruptcy. From all of our friends here in New Orleans, you are hearing these corporations and you're like, Sinclair Broadcasting, I never heard of them, and da-da-da-da. No. These are the owners of the radio stations. Well, guess who? Oh, I'm sorry, the television stations. I said radio, but the television stations. So they have corporations that own television stations in other parts of the world and conglomerates, okay? And they own stations in all the different markets, and they're just all over the country. Well, Nexstar is one of those corporations, too, that owns television stations in all these different markets all across the country, including here in New Orleans. Nexstar owns WGNO TV, Channel 26. Now, let me make myself perfectly clear. I can't tell you what to do, but it might sound like I'm telling you what to do. I have friends that work over at WGNO 26. One in particular, I worked with him for many years, and I'm talking about LeBron. And I'm not trying to do anything to hurt those folks that work there. But I got a problem with this mother, this wife, who can stand up on national and international television and say, I forgive the shooter. Then Jimmy Kimmel can go on and say, I hope that she can forgive me and I apologize because I never meant it to be taken that this woman who's grieving, missing her husband, the father that is gone, I never meant it to be taken out of context. And you trying to tell me that these damn corporations are so bogus that they gonna sit up there and hold a grudge against Jimmy Kimmel after the folks that were involved have already made their peace? And y'all trying to destroy the Jimmy Kimmel Show? You standing up there kissing Trump's butt. You're not doing anything for the problem. So Sinclair, you're the largest corporation to be a part of the Jimmy Kimmel Show. So evidently y'all made some money with him and you're going to kill yourself? That don't make no sense to me. Nexstar, you too. Y'all want to take the show off your airwaves altogether. You're boycotting. The corporation is boycotting their own programming. How dumb is dumb? So, how do you fix it, G? Oh, I'm glad y'all asked. I think in every marketplace, there needs to be a national response to Sinclair Broadcasting as well as Nexstar Broadcasting, which has a station here. And y'all should stop watching the local stations. Kill their ratings until they do right by you and put Jimmy Kimmel back on their on their television stations. Now, do I like and watch Jimmy Kimmel? Not really. Not really. I couldn't watch him last night as well. I couldn't watch him last night because Channel 26 decided not to play it, his show. They preempted his live show.
While we're talking about that, this right here is a clip because I watched the Jimmy Kimmel clip on YouTube this morning. and he said something that was very interesting, and this is what he had to say about what happened.
Welcome back to Jimmy Kimmel Live. We are still on the air in most of the country, except ironically for Washington, D.C., where we have been preempted. We are off the air in Nashville, New Orleans, Portland, Oregon, Salt Lake City, and St. Louis, where none of my wife's family is able to watch the show tonight. So sorry, Aunt Sharon. Sorry, Aunt Maureen. You'll have to go to YouTube, I guess. But I am glad to be.
That's what he was talking about. All the places that decided not to carry him. That's censorship. That's censorship. You are dictating what we get to see. That's dictatorship.
Yeah. That's why I'm making a point that since you all want to play that game, that America can play that game with you. So since we're here in one of those marketplaces where everybody's talking about we're not going to play him. Okay. Next Star is the name of the company, and we need to make sure that we don't watch.
Sinclair is here.
No. Next Star. Next Star owns.
Because I was told it was Sinclair.
It's one of the corporations. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard what you said, but
it's not Sinclair. It's Next Star. Next Star owns WGNO.
Boycott them.
That's what needs to be done.
Yep.
Now I don't watch. I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel. I'm Stephen Colbert all night long. I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel, but it's not the point of who I watch. It's the point of you all are censoring these television shows or this television show because you pissed. What? Pissed off for what? The apology that needed to be done to America was done last night by that man, and he also brought up the fact that the wife said, I forgive the man who killed my husband. Let's get over it.
Because we got thin-skinned president.
And now that all of you all are going to sit up there and say, we're going to do this. Be quiet. Just be quiet. And put the shows back on. Okay, I'm done. So,
want to go to break?
Yeah, let's go to break.
You need to catch your breath?
Of course.
Okay.
More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight as we get ready to wrap up the show.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. A deadly shooting unfolded at an ICE field office in Dallas today. Officials say a sniper opened fire from a rooftop, killing one detainee and critically wounding two others before turning the gun on himself. Investigators found shell casings marked with the words anti-ICE. The Department of Homeland Security is calling this a targeted attack, with Secretary Kristi Noem warning that harsh rhetoric against ICE has fueled violence. Senator Ted Cruz echoed that point, saying critics should watch their words. But this was gunfire inside a system already under fire. The Dallas office has processed more than 8,400 immigrants since Trump returned to office and has faced bomb threats and weekly protests over ICE's treatment of detainees. So now the question is, how much does the rhetoric matter when the policies themselves already have communities on edge? For these stories and more, go to AURN.com or follow me across social media at Ebony McMorris.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Let me be clear. I don't know Charlie Kirk. Hadn't heard of him until he was assassinated by a deranged white gunman on the campus of a small college in Utah. But I've since become familiar with his widely popular philosophy and far-right conservative opinions and views regarding black folks. However, I choose not to respond with vitriol of disrespect of the dead. But here's my take. When public figures make sweeping and disparaging remarks about African Americans, it is tempting to meet those words with equal force. But there is another way, one rooted not in vitriol, but in clarity, dignity, and truth. Mr. Kirk's comments, which suggest that black professionals are inherently suspect, that black women succeed only through favoritism, and that black communities are defined by crime, are not new. Versions of these stereotypes have circulated for centuries. What is new is the ease with which such words are broadcast to millions of people echoing in ways that can only harden divisions. How then should African Americans respond? First, by refusing to internalize these mischaracterizations. The accomplishments of Black Americans in the cockpit, the courtroom, the classroom, and on every field of human endeavor stand as daily rebuttals. The measure of one's worth is not found in the skepticism of critics like Kirk, but in the substance of one's work. Second, by lifting up stories of excellence and service that counterbalance caricature. For every negative stereotype offered, there are countless real lives that tell a different story of Black Marines whom I've interviewed, who served with honor, of Black women leading companies, legislating in Congress, healing in hospitals like my goddaughter, and teaching in classrooms. Their presence is not a product of lowered standards, no, but of talent, perseverance, and sacrifice. Finally, by engaging not in anger, but in insistence, an insistence on being seen in full humanity, responding with measured words and lived examples, robbed inflammatory commentary of its power. It signals that progress does not depend on the approval of those skeptics who doubt it. And so the challenge now falls to Black leaders in politics, business, media, and yes, the pulpit, to keep telling our stories, to answer stereotypes not with silence, but with narratives of achievement, resilience, and pride. Because in the end, the most powerful voice against ignorance is the unvarnished truth of exactly who we are. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
Looking to join an organization that is committed to help promote economic development in New Orleans East? Look no further. The Greater New Orleans Business Alliance is a member-based, nonprofit organization made up of business owners and local professionals united for the purpose to promote business development in Eastern New Orleans. If you want to become a member, call us at 504-957-3568.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the whole water stove, Pastor David Impartan Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
You're invited to step back into New Orleans history for Community Day at the Dewdrop Inn with Tulane University's Special Collections, presented by the Primo Memorial Series. Saturday, October 18th from 12 to 2 p.m. Celebrate the Dewdrop Inn legacy with a live musical show. Enjoy a brunch buffet and explore archival materials. Free admission, but space is limited. For more information, visit library.tulane.edu/Dewdrop Community Day.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-2 207-3060.
WBOK. Online at WBOK1230.com. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Final few minutes before we get out of here. Because coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be sitting down, having some conversation with Carrie. And is it Walt Leger today or Arnie calling in? It's coming in today? Hello? Can you hear the words? Did it come in? No, I said, is it Carrie and Walt today, or is it going to be Arnie? Arnie? Okay. Had to give him sign language every once in a while.
You understood the word coming out my mouth?
Just had to give him sign language, man. He know the biggest sign that I can give him, though. There you go. Exactly. Couple of things in the news that I wanted to bring up, but I'm gonna just do one. And that is anybody reading the 107-day book from Kamala Harris? Have you read it yet? And if so, what do you think about it? I need to find out. I'm gonna read it and try to find out exactly what it is that everybody seems to be shocked about, because she is saying some stuff in there. I wouldn't expect her to say it, that she disagreed with Joe Biden and Jill Biden on her and them not stepping out of the election to let her take over. And then the other part of this is that they got from her a quote that is now making the rounds, especially in New Orleans. And it says that Kamala Harris, it's in the paper, by the way. You can also go to digitalnola.com and say that Kamala Harris calls the candidate for New Orleans mayor a star in Democratic politics. Y'all know who she's talking about. I don't need to say it because, of course, you know, folks monitor the show and they get mad when you start calling people and talking positive. Or if you say something about somebody that's negative, they get mad when you say about it. They call you when you get off the air and call you everything but a child of God. And they call themselves Christians. But anyway, former President Kamala Harris has praised one of the candidates for mayor here on a Monday call, calling the city council vice president a rising star in national Democratic politics. That's interesting. That's interesting. The other thing, I have more to say, but I'm being very careful in how I say it. The other thing too that kind of drove me a little bit today. Did you all hear about the man that was killed in the Rampart Street Hotel and was found tied up in his bedroom? They are calling it a homicide and saying the man was 73 years old and was found dead in a hotel room on yesterday afternoon. That one drove me. I had something to say about that. Of course, I did say my Jimmy Kimmel part, so y'all know about that with Jimmy Kimmel. But the one thing that really drove me today that I must say that I don't care if I got Trumpers listening or not. The speech that was made in front of the United Nations by this idiot should automatically make some of those state senators as well as those state representatives start looking and trying to get the Constitution together so that we can remove this man. He is jeopardizing your well-being as well as mine, sitting there and telling those folks that all of their countries were going to hell, and sitting there having a conversation about who's operating the teleprompter and, of course, going up and down the escalator. It stopped when they got on it.
That cracked me up.
I'm sitting there and saying to myself, this is our representation in front of the whole world and how embarrassing this idiot really is. I think that there will be some fallout from that speech that was made. I think that there will also be fallout from the FDA and from all those folks that have done hours and hours and millions of dollars researching and researching and researching these medicines that have been around us forever and a day, like Tylenol. And you're trying to tell me, as you're listening to a man that does not have a medical degree, you made him the head of the CDC, and he's telling you that Tylenol is giving children autism. Ladies and gentlemen, how much does it cost to move to Canada? That's going to wrap it up for me. I appreciate everybody for being a part of the conversation. We've got more. We're going to wait until tomorrow to get here. All right? Coming up, Arnie and Carrie got you into the nighttime. They're coming up at 6. Y'all have a great rest of the day, and be careful here. Watch out for that rain tonight. Talk to you later.
WBOK